Welcome back to Sips of Cinema, the series where we sip on a drink while talking about movies. Today we are going to be talking about Backrooms. I was almost going to say Obsession, just because that was on my
We
mind.
can talk about Obsession
Yeah,
again
but,
too if you want.
But no, we're talking about Backrooms. We saw it yesterday, but now it's been a week, so hopefully you've had the chance to see it if you're really into it. Because if you're watching this, it means you either don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the movie. So we're going to be talking about spoilers and everything about this movie because there's a lot to talk about, I think. I mean,
I think so even just like the little bit of conversation that we had at the end of the movie, like I felt
helped.
I felt like if we also didn't cut ourselves off, we would have just stood there and talked for an hour
for
or so.
sure.
Like, there's so
it's definitely
much
one of those
about.
movies, and that's like the first thing I felt when I left the theater, because I was like, it's going to be one of those movies where once you think about it for a little bit, you're going to appreciate it a lot more. And that was exactly what happened. Literally, as soon as we stepped out and started talking about it, because we had just rewatched the web series to try and gain some sort of like idea as to what we could expect going into the movie, so we're not completely lost. And I think if you watch this movie without watching the web series, you're either one, going to enjoy it, or two, not at all. Because I really don't think watching the web series like gave too much context.
No,
not a whole lot. It kind of it introduces you to this like weird place that they are, but they don't really ever tackle almost anything that happens in the web series. Like, it's kind of its own story. Like, the way the Backrooms work in the movie, it's a lot different. You don't just like fall in and you're trapped there. You can go in there on your own and leave and explore it, but it's still the same concept of like there are entities down there and you're not sure who they are or what they are, but they definitely know you.
That might also just depend, I guess, on where the actual like doorway is, because like
that's true.
In the web series there's like the found footage of I think it was the second one, maybe.
They're
with, like,
all
the girl.
Kind of like that, where they just like fall through
the floor. But so like what I'm saying is like they fall through the floor, and it's like the ceiling that they go through. Whereas in this movie, he walks through a wall. So maybe they could get through.
Well,
is what I'm saying.
But they never touched on that in the web series. So I'm kind of just gonna go with you can't. You're trapped, and that's how they describe it in like the the 4chan website where the picture originated. They like describe the Backrooms as this mysterious place that has that is estimated to have over 600 million square footage of like area, which is just absolutely insane. There's countless amounts of levels to it, and I did leave the movie kind of disappointed. But like I said, as soon as we started like talking about it and understanding it, I actually really appreciate it a lot more. At first I wasn't like super, my glasses just do not want to get like, I keep making it worse as I do it.
I took mine off because it was going to have the same problem.
But I left the theater kind of a little bit like not liking how they were incorporating the characters and kind of giving them story, not giving characters story, but kind of like trying really hard to make this movie not just be about the Backrooms, like kind of give it some sort of substance that will gain an audience's attention. But then when I've thought about it pretty much all day today and last night, I really do appreciate them giving the characters the story that they were given, because it really adds to the like nostalgic and like traumatic memory that is the Backrooms and what it is. And I think both our characters, like her name's Mary, is that her name? Or something like the therapist character. Yeah. She constantly she's constantly having memories of her, her time with her mom and how her mom was, and we had a theory about her mom that we can talk about as like why she was kind of having those thoughts and how she was connecting that to the Backrooms. But her memory is kind of like not being able to leave or escape that part of her mom being this like kind of crazy woman. And she held on to that last piece of cement of her handprint that she had from her mom's house, and that's the thing that she used at the end of the movie to save herself. So I like how, and then in our main character Clark, right? Clark, the furniture store guy, he is this like person unable to take any sort of accountability for anything. He blames everyone about everything. If something's going wrong, it's not his problem. It's someone else's problem. It's something else's problem. And that was his character. And I like how the way his character developed in the Backrooms, which was kind of confusing and left a little bit ambiguous as to how his character was developing within the Backrooms, because we kind of all had that similar theory of like the Backrooms is kind of like this interstellar Inception kind of thing where time is so
Way
different.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought that at first, like when he first went in, I was like, I feel like when he steps out, it's going to be like a couple days later, but they never truthfully like touch on that concept. I think it's kind of, it's
the other reason I feel, sorry, not to cut
no,
you
you're
off,
fine.
I feel like the other reason why like the whole time theory is maybe confirmed, but it also just might be what you said, where like time passed the same amount in the real world. They just didn't really talk about it. But when whatever her name is, the therapist lady, Mary, whenever she went to the place, there was like a shit ton of mail on the ground outside of the door.
Oh,
like,
right.
Like they've been waiting, like
you're right.
Bills haven't been paid, whatever. They're just like
you're right.
stacked up, which I also thought was funny that all of the mail was just like by the door and outside, and it was fucking unlocked. Like,
yeah, I know. Hey, they got safe people living around there. They don't want to fuck around with people. They're not gonna break into places.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that does kind of prove it. I guess I totally forgot about that. But I actually I did thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah.
We all left the theater disappointed. Like we did.
Yeah.
We left it,
when we
and
left
then like
the theater,
as soon as we started talking about it, you even were like, actually, it was a really good movie. Like I think
there are some parts where I wish. So it's kind of like the same. I can't remember what episode we talked about it before, but it must have been the Spider-Man episode because it was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But like I feel like this movie in and of itself is a really good one, but it very heavily leads to like wanting a sequel. Like
Definitely.
like it's set the intention of this one was to set up a sequel though. Because I mean, not to go super into depth into like the web series, but there's
we can.
Well, yeah, we can.
Based on what we know.
Yeah. But like the web series, there are like individual videos with like presentations and PowerPoints and, and all this other kind of stuff of like what Async was trying to do and why the Backrooms were important and what the whole thing was. And we didn't get any of that in this movie.
Yeah, I think this movie takes place in 1990, which I
thought it was the 70s.
No, it was 1990.
Is it 90s? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
No, you're right. You're right. The 90s. Yeah. There was like
I think they discovered the Backrooms in the 70s, but this movie took place in the 90s, which I'm pretty sure it was in between. It's either in between the first found footage and the second, or it's in between the second found footage and the third. It's like right in between there. So it's weird because the way that ends, which by the way, Mark Duplass, he's like such a funny guy, and he does like really creepy stuff. And he was like barely in this movie. He played the scientist guy, the one that like showed his face like a couple times, and then he had a couple speaking lines. Like I thought it sounded like he had so much on hand stuff with Kane Parsons, but he was like barely in the movie. So his character was.
He also said though that he helps like not direct, but like he helps the younger generation do stuff, so he might have been on set more than like the film time type thing,
and maybe that's why he was just in the movie. Like, oh yeah, I can fill that role. If it's not that big of a role, I can do it. Because Mark Duplass, he's funny. I saw this like short film that he did that he submitted to Sundance that was like how he started his career, and it's so funny. It's him basically just like coming home drunk and like yelling at his phone. It's funny. But
anyways, of him though, I thought it was cool, like the casting that they did for the movie. They at least I can recall two, and probably some of them played different roles in different things, but there were a lot of like Apple TV
the girl or the woman, she was in Shrinking.
Yeah, Shrinking. And, I think it's cool that she's in like another role so soon, because isn't Shrinking her first role, or
Shrinking
is first main huge role?
I think first main role. She hasn't had many after Shrinking. She was in another movie that was terrible, but oops, sorry. It may have been her first role. I'm not certain on that. But yeah, I think that was cool as well. But my biggest, I don't know, because a lot of my gripes that I had with it have kind of subsided after thinking about it for a little bit. Like the Captain Clark character, like I thought that was like so interesting, because this Backrooms movie is what Kane Parsons wanted to do, like with the Backrooms. It's not necessarily like the same exact kind of Backrooms that we got in the web series. Like it's not this black scribbled kind of looking entity. It's like an actual like embodiment of memory and what people are becoming, because Clark was this crazy person that was just being overly consumed with trying to make it like make himself still matter with his furniture business, with his commercials that he was making as Captain Clark, and then his like evil demon was Captain Clark. And I think definitely really creepy. They did a good job with the character design, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's so much with this movie that I feel like more and more people are going to unpack a certain amount of things. And we definitely do. I think we need a sequel. It's made 38 million. It's made 38 million in its first day.
That's crazy.
So so I think Kane Parsons, I think he now has broke the record for the youngest director to be in the number one a movie or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. I mean, if they don't make a sequel, like that would just be such a mistake. Does A24 have any sequels? Does A24 have any sequels?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think.
I mean, you would know of all people.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I feel like they do, but why can't I think about it? I guess if I really can't think about it, they might not. Interesting.
I can look it up.
Yeah.
You keep talking.
Does A24 have any direct sequel? Oh yeah, they do. They have one. They have the Maxine and X and Pearl.
Oh, I didn't even know those were A24.
Yeah, those are A24.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that's one at least. So they might not have a lot, but like, I guess they have a couple.
Yeah,
but
those are A24.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why I wasn't thinking that they were.
So we could definitely get a sequel. And I like the ending. I didn't like it at first, but like the ending, because we kind of talked about it a little bit, in which it's one of those endings where it's. If anyone's seen The Good Place, have you seen that show? The Good Place?
I haven't watched all of it, but I have seen some of it. Yeah.
So the ending of, I think it was the ending of season 1. It was when they discovered that they were actually in the bad place, and the person running it. Not to spoil it if you haven't gotten there, but
I think I only watched like the first 2 episodes. But I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, so basically in the first season, they're actually in the bad place, and the guy running it, like just snaps his fingers to make them forget immediately. And it kind of reminded me of this ending, in which it kind of has a very similar ending in which she's asking like, where is she? And they're still in the back rooms. And then they're kind of dodging the question because they're probably either going to kill her so that nothing gets out about it, or they're going to be trapped in the back rooms forever. And that's just what they show us. They show that she's stuck. She's now this memory that's been overlapped with the same memory until the memory is becoming like a memory in itself. And that final shot was really creepy because I just saw her sitting there, and then they saw like her face, like that was like,
it was like split into a second phase.
Yeah, and then another face. It was like really creepy.
I think they had like a second arm built up on the other arm.
The character designs like of like
what they called still lifes. Is that what?
I think they were calling them still lifes. Yeah, the character design of those people reminded me of the weird people in Spy Kids. Like remember the thumb people, the one that had like the hands on the top of it. That's the kind it kind of reminded me of that, like that makeup in which the fate, like they're people but they don't look like people, or just like something. It just that they were really, really creepy. And then you just recently saw the post of the obsession where it's like, oh, and the best part about it, you can eat them.
Yeah.
And then it's just like the best part about them, you can yeah. you can take advantage of them.
So stupid. Someone posted a picture of, it was Clark's character in that scene.
Yeah.
Where he's like eating the whatever they're called, still lifes.
Yeah.
And they photoshopped Bear's face over Clark's face and changed the wording.
Yeah.
To be way more gruesome. But yeah, I think I liked the ending. Like off rip, I thought that like the visuals were really cool. The only thing that like I didn't like about it was the fact that this isn't a short movie. It's relatively long.
It is,
but it felt like it was over in the blink of an eye. So like the ending that happened, visually speaking and everything, like I like the way that it looks and it makes sense. But it also felt like there's an infinite amount more that we could have had in this movie.
Definitely.
That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
I actually just made my my TikTok and like whatever, my Instagram video on it of my movie review, and that was one of the things that I mentioned. Is just like a lot of people are complaining about how it's not long enough, and it's I don't agree. I think it's long enough. I just think they focus a little bit too much on building up the characters. Like we saw a little bit too much of Mary or the therapist's life. Like it's like we know what they are, we know who they are, we know what they're seeking, we know what kind of trauma they have, we get it. Like we don't need to learn so much about them and like focus so much time. I think it would have been more beneficial if we actually learned, like, maybe not even learned, but just kind of gave us an opportunity to understand what the Backrooms are just a little bit more, which is funny because that's exactly what they want at the end of the movie. They just want a little more. Like, if you can just get us a little bit of like what you saw in the Backrooms, like that would help us understand it more. And that's kind of how I'm feeling with it. Is just like, I wish we got just a little more. And honestly, another thing that I wish the whole entire movie was shot in like found footage.
The found footage.
The found footage sequence was
or at least had
so good.
Or at least had it more throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I get it if maybe it's not the entire movie, but way more. Like, because they stopped doing the found footage or lost footage, whatever, like after like the first 20 minutes.
Like, what if what if the movie, and maybe they can do it for the sequel, but what if the movie is about this down in his luck like director and filmmaker that can't get a job and is just like, you know, kind of similar to Clark's character. He's just, you know, paycheck to paycheck. He doesn't have his wife left him, whatever. But this director that can't get any jobs comes across the Backrooms, and on his like old camcorder or whatever, like it's something that he can't move past. He's so stuck in the past. He can't move away from this camera because this is like, you know, where it all started. Takes it into the back room, decides that this can be his breaking point of filming this and filming a documentary in the back rooms, and that's how it's shot the whole entire time, is him filming it. So that's kind of how we can get that like vintage kind of feel to it, or like the found footage kind of stuff. And then the movie can, like, we can jump into like 50 years into the future, and someone comes across everything that he filmed, and that's how they can like whatever navigate through it, because there's like endless possibilities with what they can do. I mean, it's not literally, they can do whatever they want with this story.
Yeah.
I mean, I just hope that they don't do the same thing over and over again. Like, I hope we eventually get deeper into like what the Backrooms are, because we have theories that the Backrooms could be a living place. I mean, like a living thing, because there was that graffiti in the movie that said "tables don't bleed."
Yep.
Which was kind of reference that is like, the tables don't, like the furniture in here doesn't, but I definitely do. So I don't know. I think just it would be very interesting, because in the web series, it looks like the Backrooms was created by accident. Like, it was a blip in reality in which it completely like took. I don't think it was the same kind of concept in which in this movie it was a like alternate a mirrored version of our reality, but it was just the memories kept getting distorted, and that's what it was becoming, because in the web series it was just more of this mysterious place that kind of just showed up. So I don't know. I feel like there is endless possibilities with what they can do with a sequel and how they can go about it, but I definitely think Kane Parsons did a bang up job. I think he did a great job. I mean,
phenomenal,
a great job. I mean, that the whole entire sequence, the
not even just this movie, like all of the Backrooms
web series,
period, dude. Like, I mean, to be a 16 or 15-year-old and being able to do full 3D rendering and have real, and to have the concept of like, I'm gonna make this in Blender, which at the time is way outdated as to what it is now. I'm gonna do all this stuff in Blender, then I'm gonna take this composed footage that I rendered in After Effects. I'm going to play it on an old CRT TV and record it that way to give it noise and grunge and color distortion. And like,
so cool.
It's insane.
It's awesome.
It's insane, the kind of imagination that he has. Like, unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Props for sure.
Like, the whole web series, the whole web series is almost 3 hours long. Like, if you watch it from start to finish, it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. It gets a little bit like, okay, we understand now. Like, we're not getting much more by the end of it. But the first found footage tape 1 is outstanding. 9 minutes, beautiful short film. Like, it's just so good. And it was actually scary. Yeah. Like, scarier. This movie wasn't really scary. Like, it had some, like,
I'm not gonna lie, the scene where we saw that Christmas tree, dude,
that scene, I didn't even I didn't have a jump scare. I just kind of I felt
froze. Every ounce of heat leave my body. I felt a chill everywhere.
It was creepy, because I was like, creepy. Wait, is that a real person in the wheelchair? And I was like, well, who's this person coming at me?
Yeah.
Like, and then, but the scene which, by the way, something else that was kind of left ambiguous was when Clark was down there and he set the camera down because he started hearing his coworker or his whatever, his assistant managers.
The camera.
And I know, I think that was probably Captain Clark, or like what was becoming
Captain Clark.
Captain Clark. But the girl was able to see everything, but he couldn't. Like, what was that? Because he was beginning to develop more of like, he is now becoming one with this place, so he can't see through it.
Or maybe the rooms, like they touch, but depending on who's in them, they adjust. So maybe it was building a room based off of her memory, and in her memory, that place had a mirror or like a window.
Interesting.
But the room that he was in from his memories didn't have a mirror, so it was just a wall.
Interesting. It is very like, I feel like a lot of people will complain and just be like, that's all just speculation. That doesn't make a good movie. But I think if you
whole idea of the Backrooms is speculation.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Exactly. And that's what's so, and that's exactly why when we left it, I was like, it's going to be one of those movies where when you think about it for a couple minutes, like your whole entire view on it will change. And I was 100% right. It was just like, I really did not like when it ended, I was just like, I felt kind of like I didn't gain much from it. Like, a lot happened, but I didn't really understand it. And then I started thinking about every single scene. What happened?
I just dropped the
one.
Oh, that's fine.
I started thinking about every single like important scene that was happening through it, and it was just like it all came together so well. And yes, the scene where we actually got to see a lot of the levels, and it was like this vast pit. I don't even have vertigo, and that scene was like, I know you do.
I was tripping,
that
dude.
would, and you know what you know what I realized is I don't know what I was thinking. Not a VR, because they've definitely already made VR games like this, but I think like an escape room or something of like Backrooms would be epic.
Like in real life,
like
not a video game.
In real life.
I don't even know how they would manage to do that, but it'd be cool. It
would be awesome. It would be really cool. I was thinking of something that they could do to like, I don't know if they've done this or if they did anything for marketing this movie, but they could hold screenings, and then while the movie's going on, they're building the Backrooms like outside, so when people exit the theater, they show up in the Backrooms.
I saw so many posts where it was like, I'm at my screening for the Backrooms, and tell me why my theater is the Backrooms.
I know.
And there's like an open door in the corner,
it's
and it's just
crazy.
Like bleeding yellow.
I know. There are a lot of places. There's some places in Michigan that really look like that. Like there's that mall. I forget where it is, but it's all the stores are closed except for like a couple.
Oh yeah,
like landmark stores.
I don't know. Is it Lakeview? Something like that.
I think
so.
Out
in like Utica or whatever.
Yeah, that mall is creepy.
Very eerie.
Oh crap! What was I thinking of? What was I saying?
Some places in Michigan look like the Backrooms.
Yeah, but before that, what were we talking about? We were talking about
a good marketing ploy.
Good marketing ploy.
Put people in the theaters, make their theater look like the Backrooms when they leave.
Look like the Backrooms, the escape room. Oh man, what was I thinking about? I was thinking about something. I'll think of it.
This is what happens in the Backrooms.
Yes, exactly.
Your memories get changed and you forget things.
Crap, I had something that I had in my mind, but I can't think of it. Whatever.
I think, to continue off the cool like marketing ploy, and we kind of talked about this yesterday after we got out of the movie, I think it'd be really cool if Kane did like a shadow drop of just like a 3-minute post on his YouTube channel for like what happened after the movie finished, or like another piece of found footage. Like maybe somebody wandered in and they found the camera that fell and they watched the footage of what happened or something.
But like back to the whole entire sequence of the found footage of the movie. It was so well done because it really like it kept the vibe, because in the web series, since it was all 3D rendering, we never got to see like hands or anything like when they were like running or escaping. But in the movie, I think they captured it so well, just like the running away, the eerie sense, the way the movie opened too, in which it was the hazmat suit guy and like the seagull that flew in there. It really captured the overall tone of the movie really well. And that Christmas tree scene, I was not expecting it. I wasn't either,
and it scared me shitless for like half a second.
But also, I love how that Christmas tree, because the whole entire Backrooms is this like nostalgic, like
Yeah, I don't see Christmas trees like that anymore.
exactly, but that's the
Yes.
kind of Christmas tree I'm gonna have in my house.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
the
yeah.
old
The
fashioned,
cool,
like the
vintagey.
not LED, the just the warm lights. That was like, that's how you take nostalgia and make it just effortlessly creepy.
Yeah.
Because that is like would immediately unlock some sort of memory with someone. Is that, and I assume that person that was running towards him and then like the red hair, was that
Mhm.
supposed to be his
I'm assuming it's supposed to be his wife.
his wife?
Yeah.
That's what I was assuming. And
And I assume that that's the person that was in the kitchen with them afterwards when she was like standing in the corner.
yes, it was.
Yeah,
That was
same-
that
the
was her.
same one,
Yep.
yeah.
So I think that was supposed to be like the memory of his
Dude,
wife.
when he got up and cut
I know.
the hair off of it and put it on
Crazy.
the therapist's head. Oh my god.
Yes, crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I'm convinced that like at least 4 months passed in the
yeah.
back rooms.
I mean, he looked, but there was also, I saw a theory online. Not even a theory. I don't know where the theory led to, but basically someone just noticed that Clark had switched up so quickly in his like attitude and persona. He didn't have the same scar on his forehead that he did.
Oh, so maybe it's
earlier.
not Clark.
Exactly.
It could be like another still life.
Because
that's
we
more
never
advanced.
like got like, how did he get access to the girl's head? Like, why was the head in the fridge? Like, or
Well,
I guess,
I mean, if he was in there for 4 months, he would have been able to explore. Long
which
enough.
that kind of proves that he was also in there, because there's no way that she decayed that fast.
Yeah,
Like she would. That was creepy. that
Yeah,
was really
that
creepy.
was very
very
very eerie.
Definitely, Kane Parsons definitely did a great job understanding this is his baby. Like this is his like story.
This is like the only modern mythology.
Mhm.
Because like every other mythology that we have is like Thor, Loki stuff
Yep.
from like thousands of years ago.
That's true, actually. Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
This is like the only truly modernized
Which makes you think
myth.
where myths come from, because this myth came from a picture that was released on 4chan in 2019, and then someone backtracked where it came from, and it came from this furniture store that was being sold, and there was just a picture that someone took to show what it looked like. And that was from 2011.
Yeah.
So it took 8 years to travel to randomly be anonymously posted on 4chan, and then
Which apparently the guy that posted the original post also like gave Kane their blessings or whatever for like
That's
taking
good.
it as far as
Yeah.
he has and all that kind
Which,
of stuff.
like,
Which is really cool.
which is like, dude, you just took a picture. It's like you're not the king of England.
They probably didn't even take the picture. They probably just posted it.
Exactly,
But
just
yeah.
posted it. But
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying that like, oh, well, they should be giving him recognition because this wouldn't exist without that picture.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, like execution and developing off of something is way different than just the inspiration or the thing that launched it or whatever.
Like it's not like the
this
Backrooms.
is Kane's baby.
Exactly.
Like,
It's
yeah.
not like the Backrooms was already a well-developed series, and then
Mhm.
he just decided, yeah, I'm gonna redo it and just get. It was literally a picture.
Yeah.
It was a picture that was posted in 2019 that people started that idea of the Backrooms, and then Kane decided, I am going to make this a reality. Or a memory of a reality.
Which was that? Was that him in the first one?
What do you mean?
In the first like found footage?
No, it didn't look like him. It didn't look like him. I feel like his voice, I could hear it every now and then, like it sounded like him. But the first guy that like fell in, I don't think was him.
I don't mean like well, maybe it was who was it? It was the cameraman that fell in, right?
Mhm.
I was wondering if it was him though, because like, you know, he's now into making movies. Like,
Yeah.
he was recording the first Backrooms footage. So
Well,
maybe
that's what
it was
I
him,
thought.
but
That's what
I don't know.
I
just
thought
it was
too.
cool.
That's what I thought too. But the guy that we saw,
Also, how does he know so much about the Backrooms?
exactly.
He had to have been there.
Exactly. But yeah, that does make me wonder about where myths come from. It's like, you know, when you read about a myth about about a huge serpent, it's like, did it originate from someone just getting scared by this like cobra, and then they're like, I'm gonna write a story.
It just got really exaggerated.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like it came to them in a dream.
Exactly, which
or-
probably most of them are just like that, where it just
Yeah.
it came to them in a dream, or it was something that they were inspired by, and they decide, I'm going to make this whole entire story for, you know, generations to understand, like, what is the Backrooms going to be like in 3,000 years?
What's it going to be in 30 years?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's so interesting to me. Like, this is like,
And the cool thing about this specifically is I think that when it comes to the idea of mythology, the other stuff that we've had, like all set in stone or whatever, there isn't really room to grow. The Backrooms is literally limitless. Someone can make up their own subdiversion of the Backrooms, develop their own mythology and their own lore, and it'll all tie back to what Kane initially like made. But like, I don't know, like you never hear anybody go about like, oh, did you hear about that Norse god? That like the second cousin, 3 times removed of Loki. Yeah, me neither. But like this, like if someone were to come up with like or make like another piece of found footage and something be completely different than the other Backrooms,
it is definitely the most like it's fan fiction friendly. Like literally anyone could come up with anything, and it all would connect. Like you could literally easily connect everything together. And within the web series, it kind of looked like they had set up cameras to get different angles, and it looked like people were almost traveling through time because there was like the hazmat people that we saw in a previous portion of the web series, and then they somehow were crossing into this other person's view of the Backrooms. Like it's very weird, or it kind of reminds me of like, I don't know if you watch Peacemaker, but Peacemaker.
I don't know if I did.
The Peacemaker season 2, they dive heavier into realms. And they can go into their realm, and they can go into the realm that's that Peacemaker had in their house. And then when he explored it more, there's a bunch more doors. And then he ended up discovering this new reality of his life in a different universe. So I'm wondering if like the way where people all enter the Backrooms, it's the same. Like it's so confusing. Like it's the same Backrooms, but like if someone falls into it in 1970. And someone falls into it from 1990.
Do they all enter at the same time?
Exactly. They all enter at the same time or something like that. And that is like the most interesting thing to me is like, what if that's what it is? It's like the Backrooms, there is no time.
Could you imagine if...
Dang, that was loud.
How was that? Yeah.
I think they're doing like construction in a new office. Sorry,
maybe
side tangent.
Yeah,
it was just
probably can't hear.
You probably didn't hear it, but it was loud.
Yeah.
So I was just like, "What was that?" Because I think there was a dentist office down there, and I think they're like moving out or something.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But I think it'd be really interesting if they had like if they ended up making a movie on that where someone falls in and in the same room or like same subsequent area or whatever they come across somebody from a completely different century that comes in at the same time.
It would be really cool.
It
would be really, really, really cool, I think. And like I said, infinite ideas. I think it would be cool if we did get a movie that had more of that they can't escape, or like it's like really hard to. It's like not as easy as just walking in and out.
Dude, imagine if Captain Clark like in like the shadows or whatever followed Clark and saw him walk through the wall, and the final scene of the movie
was just
his hand
coming out of it,
coming through the wall. That would have been that would have been crazy.
That's a good
have a still life run amongst regular humans outside of the Backrooms.
Interesting. Or
maybe that's what maybe the sequel, like Mary's character.
What if it's this? What if Captain Clark was actually Clark? And the reason why he doesn't have that scar on his face anymore is that the memories in the Backroom were trading places with Clark. So the entity that was in the Backrooms web series, the entity were obviously these like black creatures.
Yeah.
So what if that's what they are in the movie? Because you could see one briefly, and it looked like it was just a black figure. So what if
the one that grabbed the kid?
Yeah.
When he fell,
he looked more of just like this black figure. So what if the Captain Clark was the real Clark? And he's so tall because that was the size of the entity, but the entity was trading places because once you're in there for so long, the memory begins to consume you.
It took me so long to click with what you were saying. Yeah.
What if that's it? Like, what if Captain Clark, and that's why he killed him,
and that's why Captain Clark also wasn't trying to kill Mary at the end. He was just trying to like catch her.
Exactly.
Like, what if that? Oh wow. Yeah, I can see it.
I think that could be very, and that's why he was bleeding.
And that's why they also strapped him down in that hospital to run tests on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I mean, I guess he he did kill.
Hospital.
Yeah, he did kill Clark, and he was bleeding because, like, from his shoulder, he was bleeding when he bit him. So there's obviously plot holes in the theory, but I think that could be very interesting in how, like, the entity begins to try and take over their like entity, their body,
so
and
they can go into the real world.
Exactly,
but they can never find their way out.
Exactly, like, so that could be interesting if that's how they go about it.
Wow.
I just thought of that. Like, that was like, I was just like, wait, I'm trying to think about Captain Clark and why he's so, like, important and why he looks like him and why, like, and I think that could be it.
Yeah,
that
I think so too. That's a crazy theory. That is
clip it,
clip it and ship it.
But I mean, that's what I mean. I love movies that are like this, where you can kind of come up with your own idea, and it doesn't necessarily have to come true, but it also doesn't necessarily have to be incorrect. Like, it can kind of be whatever you want it to be.
I might edit my my review that I posted on this one.
What do you mean?
Talking about it more, like on Letterboxd.
Oh yeah.
Because
I literally edited it. I had it at a 3, and then I bumped it to a 3.5, and I might bump it to a 4, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have it at a 3.5. Yeah. I might bump it up. I put in my.
I kind of want to rewatch it.
I do too.
Yeah.
What are you doing after this?
Yeah, work. But no, I think I might genuinely go rewatch it.
Yeah,
because
I might too.
Yeah. But yeah, and then make a part 2. But you know what I also think would be interesting is, like, if this is Kane Parsons' like baby. I know he actually didn't write this. I think I mentioned that in the last video that he wrote and directed it, but he didn't write it. He directed it. The guy who wrote it, I forget his name, but he wrote shows like Westworld, and other stuff like that.
Speaking of shows, I didn't know anything about the Backrooms. Call me old, whatever. But I didn't know anything about the Backrooms, and then Cameron got tickets to go see the movie, and he was like, "You should probably watch the web series."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay," so I did. I'm 1,000,000% convinced that whoever was directing, writing, I know Ben Stiller did Severance.
Oh, Severance,
but,
yeah.
I'm 1,000% convinced that a lot of the concepts in that show came from the ideas of the Backrooms.
Probably.
Like the expansive hallways that are like never ending, the office spaces that are like perfectly cubicled out and like very bland, the very intense ceiling lights.
Yep.
The paradigm shifting between realities and universes, with like this one is the chip, obviously, and not like going through a wall, and using retro technology.
Yep.
Because Severance does that too, with like the old like the old CRT like computers and low tech.
Yeah, probably because it can't be tracked.
Yeah. So
that is interesting, because it is very, like, Ben Stiller definitely does. Obviously he hired, like, you know, this, I don't know if he was a kid, but definitely a young guy to do the intro.
Yeah.
Like, he just saw him on Insta.
Stunning.
He just saw him on Insta, and he was like, "Hey, this guy's cool. Like, let's just hire him. Let's pay him a pretty penny, and he'll do the work for us." So I think he does that with, you know, certain things. Like, he takes inspiration from other people, because it definitely
makes sense. You want to take inspiration from the new generation, to make something for the new generation.
Exactly. So
relatable. Hashtag.
Yeah,
relatable.
definitely. I do see that now. Like, because Severance is so good. I can't wait for season 3. Gosh,
I can't wait for season 3 to have like its release date, so that I can intentionally go back and rewatch 1 and 2.
Exactly. But what I was saying is, like, this is Kane Parsons' baby. Like, this is his. But I think it would be really cool for, like, next movies. They're making a lot of noise. For, like, the next movies to be directed by someone else, to, like, have a different kind of direction towards the Backrooms, because it's always going to be a different story. But, like, maybe he can write it. Like, I don't know why he didn't write this movie. I don't know why, because I feel like he could have done a little bit better. Like, I don't know. I feel like the way he wrote the web series, like the actual, like, found footage, it was just so much more. There was so much more, like,
substance.
You
know what? Maybe he wanted to, and they intentionally didn't want him to do that, so that they could kind of, I don't want to say milk, but they could get a sequel out of it. Like, maybe they intentionally went with a different writer because they knew that the other writer would have, like, held back.
Yeah, potentially.
Because there's like, and like, not to go like super deep on the web series or whatever, but like, even just the fact that in the web series they talk about how And they kind of showed it in this movie because there was like in whatever the doctor, not the doctor, like the scientist's house.
Yeah.
And there was like a sign or like a framed picture saying that Async just got like a huge government grant to explore whatever. Like in the web show, the web series, they have like presentation based videos and stuff that show what Async wanted to do with the Backrooms, showing how showing how it's like a limitless storage.
Yep.
Which would also make sense why there was a shit ton of furniture everywhere.
Yeah.
In the Backrooms, like they're trying to do that. And like there's all this cubicle space so companies can expand and build their computers and offices there, and you don't need to have real estate in the real world because you can just send your employees into the back rooms. I understand why they didn't like focus on it too much in this movie, but it would have been nice to have like a tiny bit of like some sort of notion. Like they flashed this huge Async logo at the beginning of the movie and then like didn't talk about Async at all throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think, well, that's what I mean, but like I feel like they really did try. They focused a lot on the characters, like a lot of the time on the characters, which I can appreciate. I think we didn't. I feel like I don't know if we necessarily needed the like therapist kind of dynamic with the guy. I feel like they maybe could have done something a little bit different, found a different way for her to also come across it, or some things, or something like that. I don't know. But I think there was a little bit too much time focused on that. Something I can look past. Like I think
the therapist dynamic also helped us understand why he was the way
that's true.
He was. So
that's true.
There was purpose.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
No, I get what you're saying too, because that scene where when they were in the back rooms and he was like talking to her more about or redoing the whole entire scene in the therapist office was pretty good. So I don't know. There's so many like endless possibilities to what the story could be trying to represent, tell us. Because like I feel like the back rooms at the very end of the movie, where she is now trapped and she's now become this like this memory. I think it kind of, I don't know if it's telling us that like, yes, at the end, she used that memory of her, like with her mom and the, her old house, and she used that to defend herself. But, if it kind of tackles that, like, if you hold on to something too long, like it doesn't matter if you get past it. It's like the same effects are gonna happen because it took too long to get past.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if it's like at this point you are just now a memory. It's still a memory. Like you couldn't let go of it like soon enough, and now it's just this memory. And for Clark, he got murked and killed because he refused to take any sort of accountability, and that is what ended up consuming him in the end. So I don't know. There's like endless. I feel like we end up probably making another video on it if we rewatch it again, just to like get more insight, because it's so interesting. And definitely
they could even like, regardless of making more movies based on the Backrooms in general, like, and we mentioned it at the beginning how there's like a theory that we have behind her mom. They could make a prequel to this showcasing Mary's life, like the therapist, because like they show her upbringing a little bit and how she's like basically trapped in this house and she can't do anything, and her mom is like on another level. And the whole thought that I have about that is that at some point Mary's mom wandered into the Backrooms and like got lost, or that's why she was so paranoid about her, like Mary looking out. I don't even know if that's her name. I think it is, but like
I read somewhere that that's what it was, but it might not be.
But like how she didn't even want her to look out the windows. Because they're everywhere. Not saying people, just they're everywhere or whatever. So like it could be a cool like an origin story for how she ended up becoming a therapist by focusing on what her mom went through to put her in that situation. Like how she wandered into the Backrooms. Like maybe, because did they talk about her dad at all? Mary's dad?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe like dad, mom went into Backrooms together. She witnessed the dad get like whatever in the Backrooms, and then somehow she escaped. And didn't want the same thing to happen to her daughter, so they like locked up in their house.
Interesting. Because I'm like, well, they also, At the end, they also ask her, like, was this the furniture store that you walked into? So it's like they know where the entrances are.
Well, he also only knew that because, well, he said that
because
she
the guy
went through, but he saw Clark on an
on the ad, yep.
after seeing him on the security footage.
Yeah. So I wonder how it works, like where the portals like open up to, like how that works.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to like piece all of that together. Like, does it show up at places that people need it the most, or like because that's why it showed
or
up
just
at,
wherever like the dissonance connection is strongest.
yeah, or like it can sense like there's like someone is
he needs an escape.
Yes,
he needs an outlet.
Needs an escape, and we're gonna trick him into coming in here.
Yeah.
But
I wonder if that portal was opened with those wonky switches on his breaker though. Because like they appeared out of nowhere.
That was weird.
And then he like flipped them down, and then he started walking away, and then saw the crack.
Yeah.
Even though he went down and upstairs in the middle of the night to check the breakers every night before.
Yeah.
And just never flipped that one. So I wonder if
could
that
be.
little like flip is what triggered the actual portal to open.
Interesting. I like how, well, one, it's cool that like this is an actual set. It's not like 3D rendered. Like they actually built this to be explored. And I'll reiterate, the found footage portion of this movie was just 5 out of 5.
15 out of 10.
So great. It was just so good. That's why I wish that a lot more of the movie was like that, because it was just, I felt like the chasing, it was, I actually saw a couple, like there was that one area that they walked past with the drain that was draining water. That was stripped from the web series. It was like this one shot that they had in the web series of the drainage pipe. So I like how they kind of kept a little bit. They kept some Easter eggs from the web series, which is pretty cool. But man, that the found footage scene was so good. And I hope that we get more of that in the future with this. Because if they don't make a sequel, like,
and what if they
they're not benefiting from it?
Oh, yeah, they're gonna make a sequel. Yeah, knowing how much money this made in a single day.
What a legend at 20, dude.
Yeah,
dude's killing it.
Yo. History.
Hopefully he's gonna get a chunk of pay from the box office. A lot of directors don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's based on how they either they get paid to do it, and then the A24 makes everything, or they write a contract like, we'll pay you a little less, but you get residual pay.
Yeah.
So out.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets something.
I hope he gets something. Like,
and if not like pay for this one, hopefully this just like gives him a guaranteed slot for another contract.
Oh, it will.
And on that second contract, give him more.
Companies are going to want him. They're going to want him. Just like how Curry Barker's now, getting a bunch of deals. Like he's working with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like he 100%. It'd be really cool. What if he directed a Severance episode?
That would be you mean, are we going back to Kane or?
Kane.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
What if he directed a Severance episode?
What if he directs like a Severance episode and
like it's like the found footage though. Like that's how he directed the episode.
It's the found footage, but what if it also was like the Severance team like down there, they go on another like excursion and they find the back room. Like the lighting is all yellow and
that would be
and whatever. Nothing like
Backrooms
super
crossover.
Eerie.
Yeah.
Nothing like super eerie, like none of the still lifes and whatever.
Yeah.
But like just wandering into a place that has that like wallpaper.
Well,
and that like
no,
eerie yellow
they
lighting.
easily could have the still life. Because what if it's like it's this amalgamation or whatever of how when you spend so much time down there with your severed mind that you begin to wonder what your outside life is like, but that those memories start overlapping with each other, and then they see the still lives of themselves in like the bad end or the whatever, the pits of Severance. Like they could easily like do that.
Did they show that stuff before? Like
they had the they took the elevator down to the what was it called in Severance? The it was it was called something. It was where all of the the memory rooms take place, like where his wife was, where she goes in and out of different rooms to have different memories play out. They would easily 100% could.
I mean, they also didn't they do maybe I'm misremembering it.
I'm actually gonna make a video talking about how Kane Parsons for my TikTok how Kane Parsons should direct a Severance episode. Like, hey, Ben Stiller, get your ass on the phone.
DM this guy next.
With Kane Parson. Yeah. Have him direct, because Ben Stiller's not directing any of the new season. So I think it would be real, unless they have already gotten all the directors, I think it would be epic if like
even
one,
if you have all the directors make an
like
exception.
even if like one, he doesn't direct a season episode, but like directs a not a spin-off, but like you know how some shows a special,
Yeah.
like he just directs a special that's like 30 minutes or something like that. Like that would be so cool and would make so much sense. He definitely understands
the Backrooms of Severance.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely understands like that liminal space kind of eerie vibe to it. So that is like the greatest idea I've ever had. He definitely has to direct an episode of Severance. That would be insane. But yeah, no, companies are gonna pick him up like candy. They're gonna like. I mean, just they're gonna want to work with him.
I mean, the movie's been out for like what 2 days, and it's already tripled what its budget was. That's insane.
Almost quadrupled.
Yeah,
38 million. It's probably at like 40 million.
It probably crossed 40 million.
It's probably crossed that. But yeah, it'll easily. It's said that it's gonna make like 70 to 80 or something like that. I think they're gonna underestimate.
That's severely underestimated.
That's just what they were like predicting.
Yeah.
It's definitely it'll make 100 mil easily. Easily, I think, because it'll be. I feel like it'll get the same treatment with Obsession, in which it's gonna have its runtime, and then it's gonna almost leave the theater, and then they're like, "Oh, surprise! We're actually gonna bring it back into the theater."
Speaking of Obsession, super quick fun fact. Has nothing to do with the video. You've probably seen it, but I thought it would be really fun to point it out. Curry Barker confirmed that the future of Nikki is going to be showcased in the next movie that he's making.
I know, you said that. Yeah,
it's going to be like a news tabloid, like on a newspaper.
Interesting.
Just like a little subtle Easter egg.
Oh, cool.
So his Anything But Ghosts. Is that what it's called?
Anything But Ghosts.
It takes place in the same universe as Obsession.
Oh, interesting.
So there's going to be a little quick like flash of like either a news story on the TV or like in a newspaper showing Nikki.
Cool. Jeez.
It feels like they're trying to get in now.
I know. That's so loud. It was like, ooh, sent shivers down my spine.
Edit the podcast. Have like that still life just barge through.
Yeah. I did. I actually did make
a line real quick. Can you edit this real quick?
Yeah. The office space out there actually does look like the Backrooms. I made a video that I'm gonna post where it's like I go to open my door and I fall through the ground and then through the ceiling, and I was like, I was just trying to work, and then I just like, it'd be cool. It'll go viral.
Make it an infinite loop. Make it an infinite loop. Ooh. So like you're sitting at your desk and you're like recording yourself, and you pick up the your like tripod or whatever, and you like walk out, and then it shows you like falling or something, and then it lands at your desk. And you're like, oh, I was just trying to work, and then you like turn around and pick up your camera again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, smart idea. Yeah. I'll add that. But yeah, so I think we've tired the topic of the Backrooms based on just like our initial thoughts. So I think we'll probably rewatch it and do another video.
Fun fact, just before we go, because I'm assuming you're gonna trail off till the end.
Yeah.
I saw a clip. They were talking about the fly in the movie, when like the fly crossed the doorway that showed her that she can go through. That wasn't planned. It was like ad-libbed. He wanted to have something to do with the fly. Like when he was going through like the direction of the movie, there was something to do with a fly, but they couldn't figure out how to put it in or something.
Oh, okay.
And this fly just kept showing up. It was a real fly.
Oh, cool.
It just kept showing up on set. And then it just like, they were like, all right, you know what? It like wrote itself in the story.
And it actually went through the wall too.
Yeah, they found the Backrooms.
They got really lucky. They got really lucky. The atoms passed it.
Well, that specifically might have been like the fly pattern going through the wall. That might have been CGI.
Oh no, I was kidding. It was.
Well, no. But I mean, like the fly wasn't real in that exact instance. But the fly kept showing up on set, so they were like, "This dude just wants to be here.
Yeah,
we'll just give him the role."
Do it. Yeah. That's so funny. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll end the episode there. I do want to see it again, so I think we'll probably do a part 2. Maybe not the next week, but we'll do it while it's still popular. So we'll think, or maybe it will be the next week. Maybe it will be the next week. We'll see. But
we have that sequel video that we just keep pushing.
I know. It's all right.
You guys will see it one day.
It's all right. I'd rather do
topical stuff.
Like topical stuff,
especially if we like it this much.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, we love it. So.
Exactly. So let us know if you want to see another video. We'll probably do it anyways. But yeah,
so deal with it.
Yes, deal with it. But yeah, that'll bring it to the end of this episode. Thank you for sticking around to the end of it. We appreciate you all. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.